After 39 years, we are finally going back to the Overlook Hotel. Dr. Sleep is today's bonus episode. Long overdue sequel to The Shining, written by Stephen King himself. And I had been looking forward to this for a very long time. I'm a big fan of the book. And I enjoyed it, but nobody else cared.
That's the thing, is not a lot of people are saying it's bad.
They're just not seeing it.
No one went to see it.
It's unfair.
It really is. That's hard to say when you're talking about millions of dollars, but it's unfair in the context that horror movies usually make their money back.
Usually, at least.
Yes. Horror is really the only genre where it's like, all right, that's surefire. We have an audience. We know what we can do here. You don't have to spend a shit ton of money. But here is a big budget, one that you would think everyone would go see.
A sequel to one of the most celebrated horror films of all time.
Starring Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Directed by Mike Flanagan.
Who's already proven himself with Gerald's Game and Hush. The guy has talent. But nobody cared. The horror audience abandoned him. And let's get into this particularly upsetting Filmgazm. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
I'm Austin Johnson.
And you know what you're listening to. Dr. Sleep was released about 2 weeks ago, and I liked it. I was very surprised. I had fun the entire time. I thought the tone was flawless. I thought the performances were great. I thought it was well written, bridged the gap between the book and movie. And I saw it opening night, Thursday night, 26 people in the theater. The parking lot was empty. The parking lot is never empty on Thursday night when a movie like this is released. To put that in perspective, It Chapter 2, completely full parking lot. I had to park out back. And, oh my God.
Yeah, I went and saw it Wednesday, so about a week after. And so I knew, I heard from you. You said, it's worth it. Go see it, man. It's good. And, I was going to see it no matter what. Shining is probably the best horror movie of all time. So, whoa. Yeah. So,
it's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
right
we'll get there some other time. We'll figure it out. But I was very excited. I'm a huge fan. And I have not read Dr. Sleep. I've read The Shining, seen The Shining a million times, this and that. And there were 5 people in the theater.
God damn.
I saw it at Embassy, where we go a lot.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I saw it. When we walked in, we were like, this is kind of weird. Because you're amped up. Your blood is like pumping, but it's kind of hard when no one's there.
Yeah.
There's some movies I don't care. I go see, when we see Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
No big deal. There's 10 people. You expect it, and then you're blown away when there are like 30 people. You're like, great, that's awesome. But here you are, seeing Dr. Sleep. Come on, man. What's going on? Where are the people at? And what's the problem here, Connor?
I don't know.
What happened?
I have no idea.
Did this feel properly advertised to you?
To me, yeah, for sure. I thought that... So the other 2 big Stephen King released movies this year were Pet Sematary back in, I think, April, and It Chapter 2 in September. And both of those were massive hits financially. Pet Sematary, I thought it sucked, and you can hear more about that in the podcast I did on Pet Sematary. But It Chapter 2 was great, deserved all the success. And Dr. Sleep, to me, was also great and deserved the success. I don't know if it's fatigue over Stephen King or just poor timing because of Veterans Day weekend. We talked a little bit about this in the Young Frankenstein podcast.
Yeah.
But I honestly couldn't put my finger. I've never seen it. It didn't even hit even. Like it failed miserably.
No, it's they're losing money.
Yeah. Over what should have been a huge hit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And so it's just sad because I do think the product is good.
Yeah.
I'm not like I wasn't blown away by it, and I wouldn't say that, but there's some awesome scares in it.
Yeah.
Which is what that's not what I'm technically going for. I mean, I love that. That's like a bonus of horror.
Yeah.
But I'm going for execution and cinematography and just atmosphere.
Yeah.
And this is just tough, man. It's tough when you're a big horror fan that you to me, this is surefire.
Yeah.
This is surefire. Like a month ago, I was like, yeah, this is going to make money. It's going to do well. Not going to be up for awards or anything, but it's going to, it's going to do well. And it's going to, just add on to the resume that is Stephen King, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, uh-oh, what happened here? When we're in the middle of this Stephen King, or everything's on Netflix, and here's all this stuff, and these Castle Rock on Hulu, and what happened? Why Dr. Sleep? Why The Shining sequel? Which is funny because The Shining did poorly when it came out in 1980. But come on, The Shining has lived, like you said, for almost 40 years now. Veterans Day, Midway did better. Disney Plus came out. I don't know if that matters. It's just, I don't know. These things happen sometimes, and it's kind of frustrating as a horror fan because you want these things to make money so they can keep being made.
That's what concerns me the most.
And you want Mike Flanagan to keep his fucking job.
Is this going to start a decline? Because Flanagan's slated to do road work. Is that going away?
And to be honest with you, I'm a King fan, but Roadwork is not a big title to people.
It's not. But
whereas Dr. Sleep, if I don't know, I feel like they should have thrown more Shining stuff in the trailer or something. I don't know.
True, but I would argue that like Gerald's Game was not a big name either. I thought that did fairly decent on Netflix.
Yeah, it seeed like it.
Yeah. They got The Outsiders scheduled for January. That's not really a big one. Mr. Mercedes wasn't a big one to a lot of regular people. Big success. They're on its third season now. Dr. Sleep.
That's what I'm saying. It can be done even with smaller titles.
It can be
but
done.
Now that it hasn't been done with a big title, like you said, is there going to be a decline in this King thing? That sucks because, man, things change so fast. And we're all the King fans, we're enjoying this shit,
Yeah.
Besides Dark Tower. But we're enjoying what's going on,
That's the thing. That's what I wanted them to do. I wanted this to work so we could get a good Dark Tower.
But, the other one was bad, so.
I just I wanted a good series. I wanted a good Stand. I wanted a good Salem's Lot. There was so much I wanted from this.
The content is endless.
That might not happen now. The Suits might see this and say, "All right, it's over."
It's just gonna be harder. It's just gonna be harder. Yeah, you're gonna have to get people to believe in you. And
I'm hoping that It Chapter 2 levels this out. That they're like, "All right, Dr. Sleep didn't work, but it worked really well, so let's keep it."
Yeah,
that's all we can hope for now.
It's crazy. And
what I think the worst part of this is Dr. Sleep was not a bad movie. Critically, it was a darling. 7.7 on IMDb, certified fresh at 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, 90% audience score. So those who did see it really liked it.
That's like the definition of what people want to go see in a horror movie.
Yeah,
it's it's fine, it's entertaining, it's good. What the hell?
It's such a bummer. The cast was really well done. Let's talk a bit about them. Ewan McGregor stars as Dan Torrance, grown-up alcoholic son of Jack Torrance, who has never truly left the Overlook, not mentally. I mean, how could you after all that shit? If you want to hear about The Shining, you can revisit Filmgazm episode 1, and I would like to talk more in depth about that, but this is Dr. Sleep, regrettably. Can't fit everything into this. You can't have too much of a good thing.
The Shining is again, it's one
we
of the
could
best
do a whole
ever.
fucking series on The Shining.
Yeah, on every scene.
The people have.
Yeah, on every actor that was, yeah.
Ewan McGregor, everyone knows him as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels, but, he's been in a ton of stuff. He's slated to appear as Black Mask in DC's Birds of Prey next spring, which I don't care.
Yeah, me neither. Not for me.
I've given up on DC. It's over. I'm gonna see it, but I'm not gonna have high expectations.
I know Ewan McGregor as the Stussy brothers from Fargo season 3.
I haven't gotten there yet.
He plays twins. Ewan McGregor does. One of them's got long hair and is real sleazy. The other one's like a major capitalism businessman. It's awesome.
He got his big break working with Danny Boyle in Shallow Grave and Trainspotting.
Yes,
both great movies.
Love Trainspotting.
And Star Wars came soon after that, and that boosted him right to the top. I particularly loved him in, I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but Angels and Demons.
Yes, I do like that movie.
I love both of those movies.
Yeah.
Inferno can go fuck itself, but I loved Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
Yes, yeah. I really like Da Vinci Code.
And Father McKenna Camerlengo is so fucking great. Love him. The Men Who Stare at Goats was a favorite of mine.
Yes, dude.
Such a weird
underrated.
movie.
Underrated.
So great. And yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin
Yeah,
Rouge.
yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Oh man, sad movie. Really like it though.
Yeah.
Christopher Robin just last year.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was.
Came and went though.
It did. That happens a lot with him. And is that part of the problem with this movie? Can Ewan McGregor not just like carry a big film?
Star Wars. He's carried the biggest film.
That was a long time ago.
That's right. Recently,
because like you and I like him a lot.
What have you done for me lately, Ewan?
But what young people are just like, Ewan's he's the best. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, his last big starring role, I guess, was Christopher Robin. Before that was Trainspotting 2, which didn't do very well.
Yeah, I don't think he's known that well in like from our generation.
He's not.
Like they wouldn't be able to name a lot of things other than wasn't he? Yeah, he's in Star Wars. Yeah. And you're like, that was 20 years ago.
That's a bummer.
So I think that was part of the problem. Was your poster boy is actually not really a poster boy.
So Ewan McGregor does not have the ability to draw a crowd like others do.
But again, that shouldn't really matter. Does Pet Sematary have like
Jason Clarke? I mean, he's not.
No. There's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to name. They'd be like, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he's that guy.
But I think the trailer for Pet Sematary was creepy. It was fresh off the heels of the first It.
Yes.
And people thought that was the next big one. And the fact that ended up being shitty was a surprise.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even go see it.
Yeah.
It got such bad reception. I was like, I don't want to waste my time.
I walked out of that like, what the fuck?
Sorry, Caleb.
Yeah. That's not over.
No, it never is between...
It never is, no. Rebecca Ferguson plays Rose the Hat, the sadistic leader of the True Knot, who I thought, admittedly, was way creepier in the book.
Yeah.
That's a big problem with the movie, is the villains are weak.
Especially if you haven't read the book.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. And I was like, what the fuck are these guys? Vampires? Zombies? What's going on?
It's unclear.
And she is just, no.
See, the book expands on this so much more.
If that's I don't even know if that character works. If that's like on the screen, if that's like a great actress. The Hat, no. The way who are you, Stevie Nicks? What are you doing right now? What is this bit? It wasn't for me. That character.
Rebecca Ferguson recently obtained, I would say, star status for her appearance in the Mission Impossible films.
Yes.
As Elsa Faust, and I believe she was the opera singer in The Greatest Showman. Yeah, Jenny Lind, which...
This is The Greatest Show!
That's my grandma's favorite movie right now. She loves that movie so much. I do too. It's a great movie. I'm sensing some
it's fine.
Difference of opinion here.
Brianna loves it as well. My girlfriend loves it too. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I thought she was good, but I thought the character was watered down.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Ferguson as an actress. Just and too many of those kind of like. I want to kind of compare it to Catwoman from Dark Knight Rises, Anne Hathaway. Too many one-liners, too many cheesy moments where it was like, oh, she could either take the left turn and be a badass villain, or take the right turn and just kind of say something dumb here. She kept saying something dumb, and it was like, you're not scary.
See, I remember it's been a few years since I read the book, but when I read Dr. Sleep, I remember thinking Rose the Hat is one of Stephen King's greatest villains.
That's tough.
I thought that when I read the book, and I think because she's such an unhinged psychopath in the book that she does some heinous shit. She's not really quirky. She's crazy, and I compared her to Carrie's mom, if anybody else. Like, just you take Carrie's mom and you make her an immortal, and you've got Rose the Hat. So, I thought that could have been done better.
Yes, I agree. That was my main problem with the film. And not just her. It was the whole crew.
Yeah,
the whole crew.
Again, the True Knot way creepier in the book.
Yeah,
way more formidable.
Well, I can see how especially King can describe that on the page so much better than it can be done on the screen. It's just tough.
Yes.
King's the master of it. So
yeah. Newcomer Kylie Curran plays Abra Stone.
Awesome. Super
powerful Shiner, who, again, expanded on more in the book.
Yeah.
I'm going to spoil the book.
Yeah, that's
big
fine.
time in this.
That's fine.
In the book, it's revealed Abra is actually Dan Torrance's niece.
Okay.
Jack had an affair with Abra's mother.
Okay.
And that's never touched on in the movie, but it's a big part of the book. Explains, like, her shine is his shine.
Yes, okay. Crazy, man.
Cliff Curtis plays Billy, Dan's friend.
Whoa, hold on.
Yo.
Say that again. You said Jack
Yes.
Torrance
Yes.
slept with Abra's mom.
Yes.
That would mean they're brother and sister. Or half
sister. That's what it was.
half brother and sister.
My mistake.
Whoa.
My mistake. Yes.
That's way different because she's calling him Uncle Dan in the movie. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I might be off on this. Hold on.
Because I was gonna say, holy shit, are they like just straight up siblings?
There was,
Which is awesome.
Again, it's been 6 years since I read this.
And it's a big book.
It's a big book. It's a good book, though.
It's a Stephen King book. Yeah.
Okay. So.
We're gonna find it. Don't worry.
We are gonna find it. Keep them talking.
Don't worry. We'll be here.
Boom.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. Ignore everything I just said. Abra's mother is Dan's half-sister. Jack Torrance had an affair. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense with the age gap.
Yes.
Okay, so
Jack had an
Abra's
affair.
mother is basically siblings with Ewan McGregor.
Yes.
With Danny Torrance.
So he really is Uncle Dan.
Yes.
So I was right on the niece part.
I like that.
All right.
I was going to say for a second, I was like, holy shit, that's deep if they're just like straight up siblings.
My mistake. That would make no sense because he's dead.
Crazy, man.
My apologies. Oi. So, as I was saying, Cliff Curtis plays Billy, his Dan's friend in AA. And that whole part of Dan's life also greatly expanded upon in the book. For a 2.5-hour runtime, it is pretty bare bones.
It is. It moves pretty quickly.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And
I've seen people say, "Oh, it moves slower." I'm like, no, actually, I think it moves quite fast for me. Explaining wise, yeah.
Cliff Curtis recently appeared in Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw and The Meg, set to appear in Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. Holy fuck.
Man, those are some of my favorite movies.
Who the hell... Why is he doing Avatar 2027? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it, James Cameron.
He sold his soul.
Who? No, not Cliff Curtis. James Cameron.
James
that
Cameron
for?
sold his soul.
James Cameron has no fucking soul.
That's true. People are selling their souls to him. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
He's the king of the world. But Jesus Christ, 2027. Who's thinking that far ahead for anything?
That's too much. Too much.
God damn. The rest of the True Knot is pretty forgettable. None of them really stand out, except maybe Snakebite Andy, played by Emily Allen Lind. But
yeah, she was annoying.
She was crazy evil.
And she just did that trope like,
join me.
I'm
together
scaring
we can
you.
rule the
Yeah,
galaxy.
just staring. Yeah, with those big eyes. I don't know how to say his name properly. He was also in that crew. Zahn
McClarnon.
Yeah, he's in season 2.
Crow Daddy.
He's in season 2 of Fargo, and he's fucking fantastic in that. But yeah, that's my only reference for him.
He is in season 2 of Fargo. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Hansi.
I remember him. Yeah, I got to get back into that. I'm behind on.
Here's what we should do: is find a way to do Fargo, the TV show, somehow loop it into an episode on the podcast.
We could do that
because it's a great series and it's got so many cool actors, so many cool characters, and we could do Fargo as a standalone episode.
We could.
I love that.
The possibilities are endless.
Yes.
One other guy I do want to mention is what's his name? Jacob Tremblay.
Yes.
As Bradley Trevor.
Whoa, was not expecting that.
That is a dark fucking scene, and that was done really well.
Yeah, what's going on with him walking alone? What's up with that?
Small towns, man.
Stephen King just is like, fuck parents. They don't give a shit.
I think he saw a lot of abuse. Maybe not him personally, but around him, because he none of his parents in any of his stories.
They're not even there.
They are there, they're fucking hitting their kids. It's crazy.
It's insane. So yeah, here's Jacob Tremblay, cute little boy, just chilling after a baseball game.
Jacob Tremblay became
crazy
known mostly for his role in Room.
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
He appeared in the new Predator as the autistic kid the Predator's after.
Yes,
because autism is a weapon that space aliens want to use. It was a very strange movie.
Yeah.
What a bummer. We're gonna do the Predator franchise at some point.
What's his name? Who did that? Directed that?
What's his fucking name? Shane Black.
Shane
Black.
He's a hit or miss guy, or what? Huh?
Yeah, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but when Shane Black does his own stuff, he's great. When he does a franchise, he's fucking
there
awful.
You go. Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood also is Dr. John. Really underused. Bruce Greenwood. Like, why are you even here? You have one scene. And Carl Lumbly was Dick Halloran. What did you think of Carl Lumbly's performance as Dick compared to Scatman Crothers?
At first, I was like, all right, wait, is this going to be a part of the whole movie?
Yes.
Oh, it's a part of the whole movie. And I every single time I was like, it's not him. It's not him. It's going on too long. This is going on too long. We'll talk about it as we go deeper. The scenes with Jack Torrance, with the dad, were much quicker, or it'd be the side of his face. This was like, man, it was a lot. And
I don't know if you're aware of this, but the guy who played Jack in this new movie.
Oh, I know.
Henry Thomas.
I know.
Elliot from E.T.
I know.
What the fuck?
I knew we were going to have to bring that up at some point.
That is insane.
Unbelievable. Transformation.
Yeah. Who would have... Why?
Still didn't look like Jack Torrance, though.
Yeah, but I thought he looked decent enough.
It was fine. The hair was good.
Yeah. I thought that there were so many... All right, we're going to save that, because that's going to be a whole thing.
We'll get into that later. Yeah.
Carl Lumbly. I love Carl Lumbly. He is Martian Manhunter from Justice League Unlimited.
He
plays Martian Manhunter's dad on Supergirl. And I thought, for recasting, he did a great job as Dick Halloran. Dick Halloran's ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done,
He's as good as it can be, for sure.
Yes.
But it's just, man.
Well, I don't know, like...
So no part of you is like, that's my favorite horror movie.
Because this isn't The Shining.
I know,
this is Mike Flanagan's Dr. Sleep.
But it's from... man, I don't know.
If I had that mindset, I couldn't enjoy a second of this movie. I had to block that out in order to get into this. Because you've got, Alex Esso plays Wendy, who I thought she did a great job. I thought she sounded just like...
She was great.
Yeah, just like Shelley Duvall.
She sounded exactly like her. If you close your eyes, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Perfect.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah. And there were two ways to do this. And Mike Flanagan picked, he picked the right way. He could have done CGI'd young versions of Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson. Would have cost the movie, like the budget would have gone up $100 million.
Yeah.
And it would have looked weird.
And they would have lost even more money.
Yeah. The way he did it, casting lookalikes in very brief roles, worked. I thought.
Yeah, it's just I thought she was great, and I think they're all fine. They're all fine. There's a part of me that's like, oh man. Like,
the problem is
my stomach starts like stirring because then I'm like, I just want to watch The Shining.
The Shining has become so iconic, and that's the problem here.
Well, and again, it's my it's like one of my favorite 5-10 movies of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm just so biased and so protective of that.
I know.
It's so hard, and that's my fault. That's on me. I know that. It's hard. It's very difficult.
There was no good way to do this.
No, and you said that after I was like, man, I just have mixed feelings, and you were like, it's impossible. It's an impossible task, and he did what he could, and I agree.
I wouldn't want to be the guy tasked with making the sequel to The Shining.
Hell no. This is way different than taking on it. Way different.
Would you have preferred if he just completely ignored Kubrick's movie?
I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know. I don't know what that product would have been. But my favorite stuff was when it was kind of from The Shining, but no recall. So it was like in the maze, but no from The Shining. You know what I'm saying?
When he goes back to the Overlook, but it's new.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, that's fine. I love that recall. That fan service is fucking cool as shit. But like, dragged out scene of, we'll get to it, at the bar. At the bar. The scene at the bar is like, man.
Scene's not in the book, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Because in the book, the Overlook is burned down. Because The Shining, at the end of The Shining, the book, Jack overcomes the ghosts, blows up the hotel to save his son. He's a much more redeemable, good man.
Yeah.
In the movie, Jack was a fucking psycho before they even got to the Overlook.
Yeah.
The hotel won, and Jack is a ghost of the Overlook now.
Yes.
So that scene was added in the movie to bridge the continuity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it worked, I thought. I thought it was a good cathartic moment of Dan facing his dad.
Man, yeah.
And I would not have... it wouldn't have worked, I thought, if it was like a de-aged Jack Nicholson.
Oh, no. I definitely didn't want that. Yeah. Oh, God. Leave Jack. he's a grumpy old man.
Jack Torrance is a prominent... Well, not really a prominent, but he's an important character in Dr. Sleep. Dan does see his dad's ghost a couple times, and Dad's like, I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry this had to be like this. It's a great book. Really, you should check this out.
I'm going to. It's so
awesome.
much easier to do on the pages than the screen.
It's always... That's a big thing with King stuff, is it doesn't necessarily translate very well.
It's hard to adapt.
Yeah.
We talk. Well, even The Shining is not a technically good adaptation.
It's a terrible adaptation.
It's completely different.
It's a great movie.
But it's a wonderful movie.
It's really tough to take his written word and throw it onto the screen. I don't really know why, but it is.
But it is. Yeah, it's proven to be. Yeah.
Oh, well. Dr. Sleep. Let's get into it. Let's talk the story of the movie version of Dr. Sleep. So, we begin in 1980, right after the end of The Shining. Jack is frozen to death after chasing his son through the maze. Wendy and Danny escaped, and they're living in Florida because they never wanted to see snow again. I love that little touch. After going through that shit, I'd never want to see snow again either. Danny's haunted by the ghosts still. They still keep coming at him, and he doesn't know what to do. He's terrified, especially the lady in the bathtub. So he sees, he sees Dick Halloran's ghost. He comes to him and says, you know what you got to do, Doc? You got to imagine a box, a bunch of little boxes, and you got to lock the evil in those boxes. So Danny does this, and it works. The ghosts go away because he's stronger than they are. He locks them in these mental boxes, which I thought was that was done well from the.
It was, yeah. It sounds kind of weird,
yeah,
when you say it out loud, but you're like, no, it looks good. It looks really cool, and the way it's done when he gives him the little box, and he's like, but it'll be much better and bigger, broader in your mind, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's also where we meet Wendy, who I still can't get over that performance. It was so
it's
good.
It's uncanny.
She did such a great job,
and it's one of those like less is more, where you you don't really see her too much. You see the hair, and you just hear her, and you're like, oh man.
Also in the book, Dick Halloran survived too.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
he's there. Yeah,
crazy.
It's Kubrick fucking this up. Actually,
it messes with my mind. Yeah, it's so weird.
And I think it's ironic that the reason Flanagan tried so hard to include Kubrick's Shining is because most people know that as their Shining, and he hoped that would attract audience members, and it didn't.
Yeah, no,
that's just
nope.
What a bummer, man. Ugh,
it's a bummer, man.
So, we also meet a cult of kind of soul-sucking vampires known as the True Knot, led by Rose the Hat. They feed on the shining of kids. They call it steam. And it's produced in the dying moments of people who have the shine. And it slows their aging. Some of them are hundreds of years old. One of them's like 1,000. Fucking awesome. He saw the Romans fall. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've seen everything.
Oof.
No thanks.
And he's played by, I don't know how to say his name, Karol Strukian or something. He's a big, weird-looking dude who's in a lot of movies.
Yes.
He was in Gerald's Game, which...
He's a creepy figure, that's for sure.
Very true. He's a very recognizable face. I think he was one of the big dudes in Men in Black. like the alien who
Oh
comes
yeah,
to talk
I
to
think that's right. Yeah.
Rosenberg. Yeah, cool. So, flash forward to 2011, where Danny is now go by Dan. Still traumatized. He's an alcoholic. He followed in his father's footsteps. He's sleeping with women, stealing their money on their way out. That was fucked up.
Oh yeah, did not expect.
Drawn out in the book.
I was like, what is this, train spotting? What's going on?
Yeah. And he doesn't really know what to do with his life. He's constantly battling his demons. So he goes to a small town in New Hampshire and meets Billy Freeman, guy who works at kind of a tiny town train, whose own life's not going too hot, I would think. He gets him a job, becomes his AA sponsor, just because he can see he's having a hard time of it.
Yeah.
It's not how people work, man. That always bugs me, too, when somebody's like, you look hard on your luck, I'm going to be your best friend for life. Like, that's not how people act.
Yeah, especially here, it's like, okay, Stephen King, so you got all these shitty-ass parents, but this guy, like, is just like this, there's just something about you, man. Like, okay, all right, I don't know. So he doesn't have kids is why he's, like, a nice guy? I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't have kids either, but I'm not going to just go up to somebody and be like, you're hard on your luck? Let's talk.
I'm gonna completely sacrifice my life and my job so I can help you.
You could be a fucking nut. I don't know.
Nobody does that.
Yeah. So Dan becomes a hospice orderly. He goes to AA, starts turning his life around, and he becomes known as Dr. Sleep at this nursing home because he uses his shining to help comfort dying patients. And that's kind of it with that in the movie.
Yeah.
The book, that's expanded on a lot. It's an important part of it. That's why the book's called Dr. Sleep.
I assumed.
The movie, it's kind of see it in, what's the term? It's here and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, blink or you'll miss it. That's what I'm talking about.
It felt weird. It felt like this... I felt like I was watching Captain America get his title, or like, you know what I'm saying? Where I was like, really? Do we really need that like origin, like where it's like Dr. Sleep? Yeah, it's like, oh, there it is.
And I never liked that title to begin with the book.
It's alright. It's whatever.
I don't know. I would have preferred something else. Not like Dan the Man, but I don't know, something else. Just Dr. Sleep just never worked for me. I would maybe like the True Knot, just call it something like that.
My name is Dan, and I'm an alcoholic.
It's a great title.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's too real. So he starts getting telepathic communications from a young girl named Abra Stone, whose shine is so powerful it can be felt from across the fucking country. She's basically, the most powerful human being on the planet. She just doesn't know how to, manipulate that yet. And Rose, the Hat, we meet her again. She recruits a teenager named Snakebite Andy into her cult after she notices she has the ability to control people, which is pretty sweet. And one thing I did like about this story is it shows different tiers of shine.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
it's
just
a
psychic
superpower.
power.
Yeah.
It's like different people can use it differently.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Opens the floodgates for a lot of potential shiners in King's universe.
Yes.
Like Carrie White.
Exactly.
I would love to have that, that little piece. I want that confirmed.
Like Andy Dufresne.
Yeah. No.
I think Andy Dufresne has something going on up in that head that's...
He just knows numbers and how to fuck with people.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't say Andy's I don't know about that.
Anyone in Shawshank?
No.
Only Shiner in Shawshank.
If he could shine, he'd be out of there like that. I don't know.
I mean, he kind of was for a prison. He kind of was out of there like that. I mean, you know what I mean. In terms of prison,
maybe like Roland Deschain in the Dark Tower probably has some kind of shine with his quartet.
Yeah.
What are some other ones? I don't think anybody in Salem's Lot, unless vampirism counts.
It's a fun thing to kind of look at.
Firestarter, definitely.
There you go.
Charlie Bradbury definitely has some shine, government-created shine, but it's still there. His most recent novel, The Institute, heavy shine throughout that. Great novel, by the way. Mr. Mercedes, there's some shine in that.
Yeah. There you go.
The shine is just this supernatural power that exists among people who are hurt. It's great.
Ah, it's crazy.
But if the shine comes mostly from abuse, why does Abra, who comes from a seemingly normal household, have such a powerful shine?
I don't know. Where does it come from? The steam. How does she have all that steam?
I gotta read the book again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm realizing doing this podcast. I gotta read the book again.
Again.
Yeah, Rose recruits Snakebite Andy, who's just a psycho bitch.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at first, she was kind of, she was attacking the right people.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Creeps who were trying to have
like predators.
sex.
Yeah.
But now she's just killing anybody under the direction of Rose. Flash forward 8 more years, in 2019, the True Knot are starving because the shine is rare. They're not finding as many kids as they used to. They're living off of kind of, their reserves of steam. And if they don't feed, they're going to rot. And they abduct a young boy named Bradley and torture him to death and to extract as much steam as they can. And this is a dark, dark scene.
Like, extremely.
Really tough to watch.
Yeah.
I think mostly because Jacob Tremblay's performance is so stellar.
It is, yeah. He's great for the little time he's there.
I read in the trivia that his initial take was so good, Rebecca Ferguson had to stop. Like, she thought she was really hurting him, and she had to be like, she had to regroup. And the kid thought that was hilarious. He was egging her, like, I got you. That, for like a 10-year-old, the kid can fucking act.
Yeah. It's gone from room to Good Boys to this. Well, let's go, man.
Good job, kid.
Let's go, Jacob.
I sense Oscars in your future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, teenage Abra senses this event, senses that Rose tortured the baseball boy, and she tells Dan through this massive psychic surge that, like, blows his wall apart.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And she starts looking it up, trying to find out who this baseball boy was, and finds Bradley Trevor on a list of missing kids.
Yes.
And Rose senses that surge of power and begins to hunt down Abra, because that is a meal that's going to last them a very long time. It's a creepy idea. Just
yeah.
How many children do you think this cult has murdered over the centuries?
Hundreds?
Thousands?
Close, yeah.
Unnerving. So, Abra realizes Rose is after her, so she contacts Dan and says, we gotta meet. Like, she goes to find him. And she meets him in this town in New Hampshire, and Dan's, like, look, you gotta stay away from this. She's gonna kill you. And he talks to her about this magic power they have that he always called the Shining, and it was cool to hear that again. It's pretty obvious we're both huge fans of The Shining, and this movie hit us both in very different ways. So, yeah. I decided to take the road of, this is a love letter, I'm going to enjoy this. But yeah. I feel like you saw it as, thou art tainted, do not touch me. And that's okay. That's your right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, man. It's just one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
It'd be the same if someone fucked with Pulp Fiction. It just hurt. It would just be, like, hard. And if it's done really well, then so be it.
But what if it's a sequel to Pulp Fiction, written by Tarantino, adapted to film?
Oof.
What about then?
Tough. I mean, I don't want that happening no matter what.
I don't either.
Well, I don't want anything original ever being unless it's completely different. Like,
well, it's tough to make a sequel to such an undisputed classic.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. It's like doing another Exorcist directly related to the first one.
And
and it's tough to do that.
Yeah.
With, like, lookalikes.
Jaws. You know what I mean?
Well, they made 3.
And they're bad.
And they're terrible, yes. But King also, he remade The Shining in the 90s.
Yeah.
And that's decent.
It's all right. It's all right.
For TV, it's
exactly.
decent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In context, it's decent. Yeah. And I don't think this is a bad movie. Mm-hmm. And just my emotions, I can't lie. I gotta tell the truth. My emotions, when there's certain things where I'm like, I don't know, man. This is hard.
I get it.
This is hard. And it's not. It was more like I just want to go home and put The Shining on. Because why would I watch? Well, I just want to watch Scatman. I just want to watch Scatman. At that point, like let me just watch. If it's gonna be that much rehash, I might as well just watch The Shining. But the finale to me is worth it. So we'll get there.
Yeah. All right.
It's tough.
I can't. Yeah, I'm trying, but it's not gonna work. I can tell. So Abra says that if she can get a hold of Bradley's baseball glove, she can find where he was buried and possibly bring these people to justice. But Dan's like, no, don't draw attention to yourself. If she saw you before, she will find you again. And that night, Rose astral projects to enter Abra's mind, and I fucking love this scene.
Yes.
Abra is like, who the hell are you? And freezes up her mind and traps Rose.
It's amazing.
Rose has never been trapped like that before. She's terrified.
That's my favorite bit, yeah.
And it crushes her hand in her mind, and Abra just fucking pushes her out, and she flings out of Abra's head and like falls off the roof of her camper.
With a mangled hand, yeah.
It's fucking great, and everyone's like, what the hell? And she's like, get away from me! Get away!
Yeah.
It's great. But she did see where Abra was, and they sends the True Knot to capture her. Crow Daddy, second in command of the True Knot, says you can't come because she knows you.
Yeah, she knows you're coming, yeah.
But she doesn't know about us. Ugh. So, Dan has another visit from Dick Halloran, who he hasn't seen in like 20 years since he was a kid, and he says that he has to protect the girl, that Abra's important. So Dan tells Billy about his shine, and he is immediately like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
For a complete stranger 8 years ago, he's a great friend now. I mean, I've known you for a while, but if you just came up to me and said, you have psychic powers and we're going to go find a body, I would have questions.
You'd be like, let me see. If I have work in the morning, no. Yeah. If I have a free day, maybe.
It's just...
Are you gonna buy me tacos or something?
There's a lot to take on faith.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. And they do find the body. They get the glove. And now that they have the glove, they can track the cult. That's what they knew. Abra already knew where the body was. She needs the glove to track the cult because one of the cult guys touched it. That's what it was. My mistake. So they go to Abra's house, which another great scene because Dave heard Abra's dad heard her talk about Uncle Dan.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Your Uncle Dan? She's just a kid," and punches him,
getting ready to beat the shit out of him.
Thinks he's a perv. And Abra just touches him, and he learns everything, and he freaks out. It was great.
I love that because he's like, the dad is like pouring himself a drink, and he looks at both of them, and they're like, "Oh no," because they're both recovering alcoholics, and they're like, "Please."
I love his hand is just like shaking, he's so fucking freaked out.
Drinks it, pours another one. Yeah, classic.
So they have a plan. They're going to use an astral projection of Abra as bait, and this was another great scene, but really took down the True Knot, like in levels of villainy and power. Because for immortal vampires, they went down faster than any villain King's ever done, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, this is not a good situation. And I was like, oh, they got that pretty easy. 2
recovering alcoholics with hunting rifles took down this entire cult in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great scene, very satisfying, but fuck, man. What an effort. God damn. And Snakebite Andy manages to manipulate Billy into killing himself before she dies. Just fuck.
Real dark scene.
Real dark. That fucking bitch. I wanted her to die so... God damn it. Billy! But Rose's lover, Crow Daddy, went to the house.
Wait, that's what Billy gets for trusting a complete stranger.
Yeah.
For a part of his life.
Don't trust people.
And taking him in. That's the kind of shit he gets pulled into, and he dies.
Exactly.
By shooting himself in the...
Lesson learned.
Don't hang out with Ewan McGregor.
Ever.
When he's off his fucking rocker. Come on.
Damn it, Billy.
God damn it, Billy.
You can't trust everybody like that. You shouldn't.
You're my boy, Blue.
we're probably giving off really bad life lessons right here. But you know what? If you're listening to a horror movie podcast for life lessons, that's your problem, not ours. Fuck. Well, Crow Daddy kills Abra's father and takes her, drugs her up to suppress the shine. Dan manages to communicate her and possesses her temporarily, and this is another great scene. Forces Crow Daddy to crash his car. It's great.
That was genius.
Kills him. Abra's free. Another immortal, vampire. Dies in a fucking car accident. What's the point of living forever if you die that easily?
Yeah, in a car accident.
Yeah. Fuck, man. What a useless power.
Immortal, huh? Yeah, all right.
Ugh. Immortal, not invincible.
Oh, what a terrible gang. They sucked.
They've been at this for hundreds of years. They meet one, again, recovering alcoholic and a girl who doesn't even know what she has, all dead in a day.
Yeah, you would think that their chemistry would be just perfect.
They would know how to handle something like that.
But they see a couple fucking hunting rifles and they're like, "Oh shit!"
They just panic.
Yeah, like zombies. Yeah.
Oh god. Dan and Abra reunite. Rose is pissed because she's it. They killed everybody. So she's like, I'm going to show them. So she devours their entire stockpile of steam to basically supercharge herself.
She goes all in, yeah.
Heals all her wounds. She vows revenge. She's going to find them and brutally take them both down. Dan realizes there's only one place we can go to defeat Rose.
Which, of course, it's like, all right, we're going there. We haven't been there yet. Come on.
We're going to the Overlook Hotel. Condemned for probably ghosts, or, the caretaker who tried to kill his family and froze to death in the maze. Can you imagine Ullman pulling up, like, in May, and they just find
shit,
Jack's rotten corpse next to the hedge maze?
Sure, it was a great sight.
Oh, God. And I guess, Dick Halloran's dead in the lobby. So he's probably not fresh. So they have to go to the Overlook because Dan knows the spirits there are powerful enough to take down Rose because they're hungry for steam. They feed on the shine too, which is a little bit of a retcon, but I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's passable. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, of course, Dan and Abra are also going to be susceptible to the Overlook. Dan especially, because they remember him.
Oh, yeah.
And they get to the hotel, and I love the score at this scene. Driving up to the Overlook, the Newton Brothers revamped
I was waiting
Shining
for that,
score.
yeah.
Chills all over my fucking body.
On the car going in, but it's dark this time. Yeah, so cool. That's cool.
The
that's
angles
cool.
are like, the zoom and everything. Oh.
That reminded me of the Halloween, like what they did, where they just kind of tweaked the sound of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very
I
cool.
I like that a lot.
I already downloaded it. It's on my iPod. Yeah. I'm listening to that all the time.
I have it on a playlist. I do like playlists on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like each year, since I've had Spotify, I've had it for like 7 years now. So I'll do like my favorite, like scores from the year, and I'll like add them to a playlist, and I put that on there right away.
That's nice.
It's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, mine too.
It's fucking great.
From that part on, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I agree.
Ugh.
Mostly, I do think every scene is really good. It's gonna come up.
It's The Shining.
Yeah,
we're all here because of The Shining.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not gonna, leave that. This is why we're here. And they get to the Overlook. Dan starts turning up the boiler. Says, tells Abra to wait in the car because he doesn't want her to deal with this yet. He starts turning on, awakening the building, and he starts visiting the rooms. And he goes to where Jack attacked them. Red rum still written on the door. It's nice to have this kind of memory, like stroll down memory lane here.
Oh yeah, it feels like they're using the Steadicam, the famous Steadicam, and it feels like you're walking through
Flanagan
the hotel.
Rebuilt the Overlook to exact scale, which was fucking great.
It is genius.
It looks and feels.
Well, if you're
exactly
going to do
like
it, you have to.
Yeah, do it right. If you're gonna do
you have
it.
to.
Yeah, you couldn't.
The man is dead. Stanley is dead. You need to, respect that.
Yeah.
And do it exactly how it was.
Which
is the coolest. The construction of this movie is brilliant.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's like a stage play. It's amazing.
And Dan goes to the bar, sits in Jack's seat, and is offered a whiskey by Lloyd. Lloyd. A little slow tonight. I love that.
See,
that laugh.
I immediately was, that's one of my favorite scenes from The Shining. Is that scene with Lloyd, and Jack Nicholson is so fucking good in that scene.
Hair of the dog that bit me, Lloyd.
I was just like, I couldn't. I almost couldn't pay attention to the movie because I was thinking about that scene.
Yeah.
I was like,
But Lloyd resembles his father.
Yes.
Henry Thomas, E.T. Eliot, is the new Jack, and how fucking daunting that must have been. Get that phone call.
Jeez.
Goddamn. Is there anybody else you would have rather have seen, like any actor who kind of resembles Jack a little bit more?
No one really does.
No one does.
No one really does.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, but
they don't look like Jack,
and they're not like him. I mean, Jack's kind of like a once in a, because he's not like that good looking, compared to the Dustin Hoffman.
He looked like a fucking car salesman, and
he brought that. And his hair is kind of weird. Even by the time he was 35, 40, one flew the cuckoo's nest. By that time, he already looked kind of unhinged. Like, his hair was already kind of... And, by the time he does Batman, it's like, man, this guy looks crazy. So, I don't think there's... That's the thing, is there's no... It's an impossible task. There's nothing you can do. There's no one you can cast where it's going to be like, man, that looks exactly like fucking Jack Torrance. It's hard, but like I said earlier, they kind of use, in that scene, they use just the side of his face.
Yeah.
Which was effective. You see, like, a little bit of the facial hair. The hair looked nice. It was pretty chilling. Just like, oh my god, that's where he sat.
Well, and Lloyd, who he denies that he's Jack. He said, and he might not even be Jack. He might just be the hotel's projection of Jack.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dan starts telling him about, Mom died at this time, and thought you might want to know that. And he's like, why would I want to know that? And he's like, she's your wife. Why wouldn't you want to know that? He's like, I'm not your father. Yeah. It's a great...
I'm just a bartender.
Cathartic scene. And they start talking about alcoholism and what drives a person to it. The ghosts of the past, troubles of the present. And...
Medicine.
Yeah. Lloyd calls it medicine. Says, pup, are you going to take your medicine?
Yeah.
Classic line from the book. Didn't make it into the movie.
Unbelievable.
I'm so glad I got to hear that. Oh, God.
Really cool.
And Lloyd insists Dan take the drink, but he refuses because Dan is stronger than his father.
Yes. That's why he's going to defeat this hotel once and for all.
Oh, hell yeah. So Rose arrives at the hotel. Dan and Abra confront her by pulling her into the Overlook's hedge maze mentally. They have a battle of wills.
Yes.
And that's awesome. They fail to trap her in one of the boxes. And Dan, snaps back to reality. Dan instructs Abra, run. And then Rose, he attacks Rose with an axe, and Rose very easily fights him off.
Yeah.
And she starts draining his steam. And that's when Dan opens the fucking box, and all the fucking ghosts
all hell breaks
swarm
loose. Yeah.
Rose and Dan. It's fucking crazy.
It really isn't. It's insane. It's like a poster of all the Shining things that we're used to seeing, all these evil, the twins, and it's like, it's all there.
The twins, and Lloyd, and Grady, and it's the guy with the head wound.
Yes.
It's so great. Oh, God. And they swarm Rose, and they just fucking devour her steam, and they rip her to shreds.
Yeah.
But now, they're still hungry, and so they go for Dan, and they possess him, and he starts hunting for Abra, just like his father.
Yes.
Same, limp and everything.
Ewan had that down.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor had the form, the running form, had it exactly.
Danny!
I went and watched a video of Jack Nicholson running. I was like, man, he had that down. He didn't do it for a long time, but it was nice.
Was he even holding his jacket shut?
Ewan?
Yeah, was he doing that?
No, he's just holding the axe.
Cool.
Yeah, but I like that it was like one little bit different touch.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Dan, not Jack,
So she he hunts down Abra, and Abra manages to very, very briefly overpower him and free him from the ghosts. And Dan tells her to get the hell out of there. And he's not. She knows he's not coming back. Dan struggles with the possession. He goes to the boiler room, turns it up, and the boiler explodes. The hotel goes up in flames. And Dan stays to keep the hotel, from attacking Abra. And Abra has a couple run-ins with some ghosts, which is cool.
Oh, yes.
Great party, isn't it? Dan has a vision of himself as a child being embraced by Wendy, and Abra watches from outside as the hotel burns to the ground. I don't know how Dan expected her to, where did he think she was going to go? I mean, they're in Boulder, Colorado, or Sidewinder in the winter.
In the middle of nowhere, yeah.
She can't drive. She's 12. I don't know.
All right, kid.
I guess he figured somebody was going to see the hotel burning down. Sometime later, Abra talks to Dan's spirit, and they assure each other they're going to be okay. He disappears, and Abra's mother asks her, who are you talking to? And Abra says nobody, but then she says, no, I was talking to Uncle Dan. She comes clean with her mother and says, Dad's okay. Aw.
Yeah.
And that's when Abra is confronted by the ghost of the woman from room 237. The Overlook Hotel
and her mom's like, dinner's ready. And she's like, I'll be down in a minute.
Yeah. The ghost followed Abra.
Yeah.
And she's going to lock this ghost up just as Danny did in the boxes. You can't kill evil. And the song from the party in The Shining starts playing, and
classic.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Satisfying, I think. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The recasting. Was there any way you think it would have worked?
No. I think it's impossible. Like you said, I think they did what they could with it. I think they did damn near the best job they could with it, with what they can do.
Yeah.
It's just really hard.
It is really hard.
Really difficult to do. And I really do. I applaud them, their effort. And Mike Flanagan is, in my opinion, one of the more gifted guys in horror right now. Young guys. And I hope this doesn't taint, because it hasn't done well financially. I hope people do see through that and see the skill.
To put that in perspective, it is currently grossed $42.6 million on a $45 million budget. And that's embarrassing. That's really sad. Didn't even break even. And it's been out for a while now. So there's no really recuperating that. I mean, overseas, not something like this. I don't see it.
No.
What
not
a bummer.
Yeah, really sad. Really frustrating.
Yeah. Written and directed by Mike Flanagan. Excuse me. And I like him a lot. I respect his work. I think he's one of the best horror guys working today.
Yeah.
And I was excited about this movie. Really excited. He also is the brains behind The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a genius.
Oculus, that was one of his. That was good. Oculus was creepy. And, it didn't work. It didn't work.
No. I actually think this would work really well as like a 10-part or like a 10-episode thing on Netflix.
I think a lot of his work does, because...
The Stephen King?
Yeah. When it comes to adapting to film, there's so much you have to slice.
Yeah, a lot of content, yeah.
And
a lot of character work.
Yeah, I think... One thing I think Stephen King is so good at is pacing.
Yes, yeah,
The build-up in his stories is fucking cool.
When he has all the pages in the world he wants.
With a movie, that shit disappears.
Yeah.
When they adapt his
like
stuff.
You said, even with 2.5 hours, it's like kind of bare bones.
Yeah.
It's kind of touchy-feely, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, but people go see it. It's worth it. Go check
I liked
it.
it. I'm going to buy this when it comes out. I'm going to watch it again. And... son of a bitch.
I'll be buying it as well. I want it to sit next to The Shining. I want them to be,
Well.
So, yeah. I give it a 7 at the end of the day. What about you?
I give it an 8.
8, solid 8.
I liked it a lot. I know Caleb also gave it an 8.
Right on.
Yeah. And I can see how this would upset purists, because it does take some liberties with The Shining.
The Shining takes some liberties, so,
The Shining also takes some liberties with The Shining.
Yeah.
But
it's just Mike Flanagan's not Stanley Kubrick.
He's not. But
Not yet.
The way I see it is, if it's good enough for Stephen King to accept, then it's good enough for me.
Hell yes. Well, and who are we to really say? We're just people who go see movies. We're not. We're not serious critics or anything. And at the end of the day, it was good entertainment, and that's what we go to the theater, for. So.
Well, apparently we're a significant chunk of that box office club. So.
Yeah, there's $20 from us. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, that about does it.
Had fun, yeah.
For today's bonus. Don't know when we're releasing this one, so we don't know what we got coming for you this week, but I hope you like it, and we'll do our best.
Always stuff going on at Filmgazm, so just have fun.
Content, always. And, yeah, keep on listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.